Movementarianism, The Simpsons. When Springfield falls under the sway of a charismatic new religion called Movementarianism, the entire town becomes eerily obedient. Its followers blindly worship a mysterious figure known only as the Leader, who promises to take them to a utopia on the planet of Blissonia. The satire is razor-sharp, mocking real-world cults like the Unification Church, Scientology, and the People's Temple. Marge Simpson, as usual, remains the town's moral compass, resisting brainwashing and striving to rescue her family. The religion uses vague jargon, constant surveillance, and peer pressure to keep its members compliant, cleverly parodying the tactics of many high-control groups. The episode also pokes fun at celebrity worship, motivational gurus, and even pop music. What's most brilliant is how quickly the townspeople fall for it, exposing how easy it is to manipulate people with the promise of meaning. And of course, the hymn, "Na Na 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 Leader," will haunt your brain forever. Like most things in The Simpsons, it's funny because it's painfully accurate. Movementarianism may not be real, but it feels all too familiar. Origin: Stargate SG-1. The Ori, ascended beings with godlike powers, use their religion origin to control entire civilizations in the later seasons of Stargate SG-1. Preaching devotion through a sacred text called the Book of Origin, they promise enlightenment to those who obey, and death to those who resist. The faith is enforced by fanatical followers known as priors, who wield terrifying power and convert planets at will. Origin cleverly explores the dangers of blind faith, religious imperialism, and the manipulation of doctrine for control. The show doesn't dismiss belief outright. It questions who benefits from it and who suffers under it. The Ori are beings of great power, but they're still fallible and selfish, posing as gods to feed off human worship. This leads to powerful philosophical debates among the protagonists. Is power what makes a god, or is it something more? Origin adds depth to the Stargate universe and provokes reflection on real-world religious extremism. In the battle between science and faith, SG-1 gives both a thoughtful seat at the table. Robotology, Futurama. When Bender the robot indulges a little too hard in his vices, he turns to a higher power, Robotology. Preaching repentance and virtue, Robotology offers mechanical sinners a new path, complete with hymns, high-voltage baptisms, and eternal damnation in robot hell. Initially enthusiastic, Bender soon learns that following Robotology comes with rules he doesn't like, such as no booze, no theft, and no robot hookers. He relapses, of course, and is promptly dragged to robot hell, where the robot devil performs Broadway-worthy punishments. The religion hilariously parodies both evangelical Christianity and the concept of sin and salvation. Even more amusing, this faith exists entirely for machines, raising questions about whether artificial life could develop spiritual needs. Despite its absurdity, Robotology is impressively fleshed out, with commandments and eschatology all its own. It plays with sci-fi and religion in equal measure, and leaves you wondering how far AI devotion might go. Ultimately, Bender ditches religion for beer, but his journey reminds us that even robots crave meaning and catchy tunes. The Way of the Prophets, Star Trek, Deep Space Nine. In Deep Space Nine, the Bajoran people center their faith on wormhole aliens known as the Prophets, who communicate through mystical orbs and cryptic visions. The religion offers a fascinating contrast to the Federation's typically secular worldview. Commander Benjamin Sisko, a Starfleet officer, is reluctantly hailed as the emissary of the Prophets, blurring the line between science and spiritual destiny. The Prophets exist outside linear time, adding a unique metaphysical dimension to their worship. While some see their actions as divine guidance, others view them as mere aliens playing God. Still, the Bajoran faith provides hope, healing, and cultural unity after decades of Cardassian occupation. Sisko's spiritual arc challenges Star Trek's usual logic-first approach, injecting the series with theological tension. The religion also includes sects, politics, and fanatics, reflecting real-world diversity in belief systems. The Way of the Prophets doesn't offer easy answers, but it deeply enriches the Star Trek mythos. In a franchise of science, faith finds a surprising foothold. R'hllor, the Lord of Light, Game of Thrones. In Westeros, where most religions are powerless traditions, R'hllor actually delivers results, often in terrifying ways. Worshippers of the Lord of Light, like Melisandre, perform magic through fire, predict futures, and even resurrect the dead. But the cost of this power is brutal, as human sacrifice, including burning children, becomes disturbingly justified in his name. R'hllor's teachings revolve around the eternal war between light and darkness, with fire as both symbol and weapon. Faith in the Lord of Light is based on signs and visions, though not always accurate or trustworthy. This religion raises hard questions. If your god grants real miracles, does that automatically make him righteous? As Stannis Baratheon learns, zealotry can consume one's soul in pursuit of divine favor. Unlike other religions in the series, R'hllor demands absolute devotion, and those who question him tend to ignite. The ambiguity of whether this god is benevolent or monstrous keeps audiences on edge. In the end, R'hllor burns bright, but casts a long shadow. The Thuggee cult, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Inspired by real history but heavily fictionalized, the Thuggee cult in Temple of Doom is terrifying, exotic, and unforgettable. Worshipping the Hindu goddess Kali, the cult performs human sacrifices, drinks blood, and engages in ritualistic possession. Led by the fearsome Mola Ram, their devotion is absolute and horrifying. The film uses this fictionalized religion to amplify its dark adventure tone, giving Indiana Jones one of his most intense adversaries. Mola Ram's charisma and brutality make him both priest and executioner. Though the portrayal has drawn criticism for stereotyping and cultural insensitivity, it remains iconic in pop culture. The cult's underground lair, with its fiery pits and beating heart rituals, is the stuff of nightmares. In the film's logic, evil takes religious form, blending power with fear. Indy's victory is as much spiritual as it is physical, liberating both child slaves and minds from fanaticism. While far from accurate, the Thuggee cult is unforgettable fiction. Potatoism, Dinosaurs. In a hilarious twist on creationism, the dinosaurs of Dinosaurs decide their origin lies not in evolution or divine design, but in a giant, all-knowing potato. After baby Sinclair asks where dinosaurs come from, the elders panic and invent a doctrine centered on a starch-based deity. With robes, rituals, and sacred spud wisdom, Potatoism quickly gains followers eager for easy answers. The satire is clever, highlighting how religions often form to fill existential gaps. While some characters embrace the potato faith enthusiastically, others raise questions that threaten the new orthodoxy. The storyline balances absurdity with real insight about belief systems, groupthink, and fear of uncertainty. It shows that even prehistoric reptiles aren't immune to religious invention. The idea that a root vegetable could be divine is laughable, but so is the human tendency to accept bizarre doctrines without evidence. Potatoism may be ridiculous, but its commentary is sharp. And yes, the potato demands sacrifice, preferably mashed. Church of the Fonz, Family Guy. When Peter Griffin decides to start his own religion, he chooses Arthur Fonzarelli, yes, the Fonz, as his divine figure. With slick hair, leather jackets, and coolness incarnate, the Fonz becomes the unlikely messiah of the Church of the Fonz. Peter spreads his teachings across Quahog, praising Fonzie's wisdom in jukebox slapping and babe magnetism. The parody highlights how religions can form around celebrity figures and pop culture. Eventually, rival churches spring up worshipping George Jefferson and Captain Steubing, turning the spiritual movement into chaos. Kirk Cameron then steps in, ironically redirecting followers back to Christianity. The episode pokes fun at religious fads and the human tendency to deify charisma. While Peter's church doesn't last, it actually helps one troubled man find purpose, showing that even silly beliefs can sometimes have real impact. The satire is absurd, yet oddly heartwarming. Praise be to the Fonz. Amen. The Na'vi religion, Avatar. James Cameron's Avatar introduces the Na'vi, a humanoid species deeply connected to nature through their goddess, Eywa. Unlike most human religions, the Na'vi faith is a direct, tangible connection to the world around them through sacred trees, neural bonds, and ecological balance. Eywa serves as both deity and biological network, blending spirituality with science. The Na'vi don't worship out of fear, but out of reverence and coexistence. Their rituals involve dance, song, and collective unity with the environment. The religion stands in stark contrast to the humans' destructive capitalism and exploitation. While simple on the surface, it suggests a profound message. True faith may lie in preserving what sustains us. Critics argue the story is cliched, but few deny the richness of the Na'vi's spiritual life. It reminds us that religion doesn't have to be otherworldly. It can be rooted in the ground beneath our feet. On Pandora, faith is alive in every breath. Jedi and Sith orders. Star Wars. The Force, a mysterious energy field binding all living things, forms the core of belief for both Jedi and Sith in Star Wars. Jedi view it as a sacred connection to peace, wisdom, and harmony, while Sith manipulate it through fear, anger, and ambition. These two orders represent spiritual extremes: serenity versus power, selflessness versus dominance. The Jedi live like monks, avoiding attachment, while the Sith crave control and legacy. Though the Force is later explained via midichlorians, many fans still treat it as a mystical force beyond science. Both groups rely on prophecy and ancient texts, showing the age-old reliance on myth to guide the future. Their symbols, robes, and lightsabers become religious icons in a galactic mythology. The fall and redemption of Anakin Skywalker mirrors countless religious redemption arcs. In the end, the Force isn't just power, it's faith, tested and purified through choice. Whether you walk in light or shadow, the Force is always with you. If you liked this video, you'll definitely enjoy our next one. Every major learning style. Discover how people absorb information in totally different ways: visual, auditory, kinesthetic, and more. Whether you're a student, teacher, or just curious, this video will help you understand how learning really works. Don't miss it. Subscribe and hit the bell for more insightful content.